First off, I just want to go on record as saying that that woman and myself were never engaged. We were never married. That was all a lie. That was all something that was drummed up to sell books. So that's what that person does. Her and I had been friends before this. We were cordial to each other. We were cool. I mean, I would talk about chicks. She would talk about dudes to me. It was like we were friends.
Well, when I found out that Darius and Karrine were in a relationship, I told them both it was a train wreck. Because I know Darius's weaknesses, and it's for, Darius used to have this thing for outgoing women, dancers, strippers.
You know, it was fun, you know. Like I said, I've been raised in the church, reared in the church, and I guess this was kind of like my moment to be a bad boy, because I've never been a part of the hip-hop culture. You have to understand, everything I did was ABC. It was above board. It was a whole nother world. So this was my chance to kind of get in touch with my b-boy side.
When he met her, I said, you just got a stripper with a brain. It's the same mentality, it's the same thing.
I tried my best to look past all of the things that I had heard, all the things that people had said, and I tried to find the good in this individual. This situation is basically the age-old story of the scorpion. You know the story of the scorpion? A man's walking, he sees a scorpion, the scorpion's dying, he picks the scorpion up, he feeds it, he pets the scorpion, he makes sure he gives it affection and love, and all of a sudden, he gets stung. And he's like, yo, how could you do this to me? Why would you sting me? And the scorpion said, you stupid son of a bitch, you knew I was a scorpion when you picked me up.
I got a call from a journalist who told me everything that Darius and she had talked about in the bed one night, because what Karrine was doing is she would put her cell phone on, call the individual, the journalist, put the phone under the pillow so they could hear all the secrets, all the sex, all the everything.
Friends of mine were in my ear like, yo, man, what are you doing? I'll never forget, it was one night at the Greek Theater, and I wish to God I'd have listened. I see Bobby Brown. Bobby sees me first, and he's like, D, what's up? And he grabs me, hugged me, he looked over, and he saw her, and his whole face just screwed up, and he left out. She said to me, you better not say anything to him for the rest of the night. And so me, being the man I am, first thing I do is I walk over to Bobby, and Bobby says, yo, man, what the hell you doing with her? I said, what was you doing with her? he says, yo, man, I understood the first book, but the second book, and how she blasted me on that website, is ridiculous. It's a trifling ass broad. He basically told me, she gonna bite you. And I'm thinking, oh, you just mad because you're not getting ahead no more, And Bob was right. There was also the factor of her being a parent. And I thought of all of the men who have probably come in and out of this boy's life. I don't want to just be another guy that her mother's brought through who is one of Mommy's friends. And we all know Mommy has a lot of friends. Upon meeting him, I noticed that he was very well-mannered, soft-spoken, a very kind soul, but his spirit had been broken. And I found out he was abused. He was being abused. I'm talking about sock the boy, beat on the boy, talk bad to the boy. And so I told her, this is a young man that you're dealing with. And if you continue to treat him like this, you're going to break his spirit. And she looked at me and she said, his spirit is already broken.
She's very abusive to that boy, unfortunately. Boy, I don't know about the physical abuse, I can't attest to that. But the mental abuse, most certainly. I know of one particular incident when she was having an argument with Darius. And it got really, really ugly. And she called her son out of his bedroom where he was asleep, pulled a knife, a big butcher knife, and asked Darius, how many pieces you want to leave here in? Psychosis. But pulled her son out to watch this.
ACS should be checking her out and seeing what her kid is going through. You don't know how he's going to grow up now. You know what I'm saying? You think he don't know? He's like 9 now, 8, 9, 10, or whatever. You know, kids teasing him. Your mother Superhead. She sucked dick for a living. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Are you afraid of how this book might affect Naeem?
I'm actually looking forward to getting with him when he's of a decent age and explaining to him everything that happened to me. I really need him to know. I really need my son to know exactly what happened because he was with me for so much of it. You know what I mean? I need him to respect his mother and what I've gone through. Because what happens when parents pretend like they've never had sex and you've never done drugs, then your kids don't talk to you about it. They talk to their dumb friends about it.
I know my parents used to have sex. I used to mine.
So I almost found myself stuck in this situation basically for the sake of this child. But then there came a point where I had to consider my own son, who was my flesh and blood, because she was extremely jealous of every and anything that could potentially be a threat to her in any way. I mean, we're talking about a woman that would cut her own shadow. And it's pretty obvious that she has been the victim of a neurorectal ophthalmology. A neurorectal ophthalmology. That's when your brain gets crossed with your eyelids and your asshole, and you have a shitty outlook on life.
And that's what she has.
Yeah.